Hey MoonBoys, mm, just a hint, I'm gonna trigger you here, so if you can't deal with me criticizing your little Ponzi scheme or religion, then you can just click off right now. But if you actually want to hear the points, then I'm gonna get into why I believe Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. It's not even what I believe, it's the objective facts. There's no arguing with it. So let's think this through. What is a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is an investment scam. So first of all, let's go over this word, scam. What is the definition of a scam? A scam would be that people are paying for something and the majority are not getting what they're paying for. That's what a scam means by definition, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, the majority of people lose in crypto, right? So a Ponzi scheme is an investment scam that pays early investors. It's not really investment. I mean, if I poop on the floor and you bid it up to $1 billion, is it an investment because you bid it up to $1 billion? No, there's no investment. It doesn't generate revenue. It's not used for anything. A commodity or a stock, at least a stock generates revenues. If you buy the top in a stock, you don't need to get bailed out by a greater fool. That's not required, right? All you need is for the stock to, or for the company to have good earnings. And eventually the earnings per share will go up and you will be at a profit. Now, that's not the case with Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, if you buy the top, then you have to get bailed out by a bigger moron that's willing to pay more. So the only reason why you, as a investor, you're not investing in anything. You're speculating. It's called speculating, with money taken from later investors to create an illusion of big profits. What do I mean by an illusion of big profits? Well, as I brought up before, on December 4th, 2021, Bitcoin fell 28% in about, mm, it was around midnight, so around in a 10-hour window, from a $1.4 billion sell. So the market cap nuked 260 billion from a 24,000 Bitcoin sell. If you open the calculator and do 24,000 times 60,000, that's $1.4 billion worth of selling pressure. That nuked the market cap by 260 billion. It's not liquid, so it creates an illusion of big profits. If everyone just piles their money into something, it looks like everyone is rich until they try to take profits. Then all of a sudden, no one is rich because there was never any profits. Okay, so you might say, yeah, but you can make the same case for gold. Not really. It is used in electronics and it is used in jewelry. You might say, yeah, that's a very small portion of the supply. Sure, it's still used for that. And also, it has lived through business cycles. Bitcoin hasn't. You might say, oh, but Bitcoin stores value. It's been around for 16 years and always recovers. Bitcoin has never lived through a business cycle. 2020 was not a business cycle. You can't argue that. It was artificial. So you could make the same case with Enron. Enron was a Ponzi scheme during the dot-com bubble, or it got exposed in the dot-com bubble. For 16 years, you could have said this was storing value too. This is a Ponzi scheme that you're looking at. Same thing with Bernie Madoff's scam in 2000 and his Ponzi. Ponzi's get exposed in economic downturns because it's malinvestments and a misallocation of resources. So saying that it's a store of value is retarded. Again, when the S&P 500 went down 27% here in 2022, no one lost their jobs, okay? What did Bitcoin do? You know what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin went down 77, 78%. No one lost their jobs in no recession. You might say, oh, every 4 years it's programmed to crash. I don't buy that. Again, just look at the chart. Here's the correlation with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, in this case, in red, they top at the same time, bottom at the same time, bottom at the same time. You can see like the. You could argue in 2018 it went down because it was programmed through Terra First. No, it went down because the Nasdaq did. Like, look at this. Even during Volmageddon when the VIX spiked, look at this. VIX spiked here in purple up to well, it was up to like 50 on a wick, right? Bitcoin is affected by it. And then you can sit here and argue that it's money and all that shit. It doesn't matter what you or I think, okay? That's a narrative. Look at how it trades. Look in 2022 when the market was going down. So why is this cross deleveraging? If you have a position open in Tesla and in Bitcoin, and you get margin call and you're liquidated in one asset X, if in X asset, then Y asset gets affected. Look at this correlation. Look at this, man. The fuck is this? It's literally the same asset. It peaks. Look at this, man. You see that? They might say, oh, here's not correlated at the bottom. Again, they bottom at the same time. In ranging context, they don't have to be correlated because it comes from cross leverage. The correlation, you need to understand where it comes from. It's cross leverage. And so then the Nasdaq breaks out here, and Bitcoin breaks out of this range here as well. And you might say, oh, but it's like gold, right? Clearly. Okay, here's gold. Gold sells off, Bitcoin goes into a bull run. Here is the gold range breakout, right? Right here. And that's right around where Bitcoin tops. And then Bitcoin goes sideways. And then when gold peaks here, then Bitcoin breaks out. It's inversely correlated. So if you want to say it's a risk of asset, it's a risk on asset, clearly. I just proved it to you. You want even more proof of that? You can sit here, oh, it's the halving. You can sit there and say it's the halving that makes Bitcoin do what it does. Okay. Let's bring up BTC here. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make these horizontal rays on Dow Jones breakouts. Okay. And we're gonna see when Bitcoin breaks into a new all-time high. Okay. All right. So first of all, regular candles is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and in red we have Bitcoin. Okay. Here is Bitcoin. The green horizontal rays is where Bitcoin tops out. Okay. Where does Bitcoin break into a new all-time high? In red. Right here, right? Right as the Dow Jones does. Okay, where does Bitcoin break into a new all-time high here? Right as the Dow Jones does. Right here. Okay, where does Bitcoin break into a new all-time high? Right as the Dow Jones does. Right here. Where does Bitcoin break into a new all-time high? Right as the Dow Jones does. Right over here. It's the stock market. Okay? So, again, I brought up valuations. And I want to bring up this as well. Bitcoin distribution, but I brought up valuations. You can sit here and see the stock market can't go down again. Inflation adjusted. People go, oh, money print, money. You don't understand anything. This is inflation adjusted metrics. You can't sit and argue that. We're looking at the Warren Buffett indicator. Yeah, the stock market to GDP ratio. If it's at 200% and the average is around 80, right here, mean. You can't sit and argue that this is normal. Same thing with home price. They had to fall about 50% inflation just to get back to 150-year historical averages. Look at the price to earnings ratios. This is also inflation adjusted. Like you can sit there and argue. The earnings, right? They go up with inflation. I don't know if you have thought about this. This is inflation adjusted metrics. It's not my opinion. It's a very expensive stock, but does that mean it's a top? No. But what does this suggest? Well, to fall down to mean, it's 60% down from here in the stock market. Okay, well, Bitcoin went down 78% in 2022 when the S&P 500 went down 27%. No one lost their jobs, no forced selling. Think about it. If you lose your job and everyone is living paycheck to paycheck. So let's do this, okay? More than 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. On 100K or more, it's around 48%. Yeah. On 150K or more, it is somewhere around 35%. I know it says 20% here, but it's around 35%. So people don't have savings, and if you just look at savings rate versus credit card debt, why am I bringing this up? Well, because again, in an economic downturn, what do you think happens to these people? You can be a moon boy all you want, but look in red, credit card debt, and in blue, the savings rate. This got revised up, by the way. It was actually lower, and there's gonna be massive revisions apparently again to the jobs report, like a million jobs more that they just faked. We know that they're cooking the books. It's not really a conspiracy theory at this point. So look at the valuations. In 1929, when the stock market fell 90%, the PE rate, price to earnings ratio was 32. In 2000, the Nasdaq fell 85%, 29 to 30. In 2007, the S&P fell 60%. In 2024, it's a fucking 30 PE ratio. It's as high as 1929 and 2000. The market cap to GDP though is way higher. In 1929 it was 87. In 2000 it was 137. 2007 105%. Today it's 208%. Okay. So you might go, well, Bitcoin has useful tech. There's 2.4 million other cryptos that have the same tech. They do the same thing. Okay, now let's go over the Bitcoin distribution. So the top 0.04% own 62% of all Bitcoin. The top 0.01% own 42% of all Bitcoin. So take this number subtracted by 20%, not 20% of this number, but remove 20% from this. So if it's 62, it's 42. I counted for Satoshi in exchanges. If you want to bring that up as a point, right? And again, precious metals like silver is used in cars, phones, solar panels. It's useful. If that disappear, if silver disappeared tomorrow, our lives would be impacted. If Bitcoin disappears tomorrow, no one would care besides the hodlers. Like, I have nothing against it. It's a great speculative financial instrument. And if you wanna, again, this is what they do, right? They go, have fun staying poor. Yeah, again, you can go to my Twitter and check my track record for in regards to trading. I am 100,000 times more consistent than you will ever be. So you can sit there and call me poor and all that. That's fucking amazing. We have different goals. I understand you have like $10,000 to your name, so you need to make a little bit on biddy to feel good about yourself. But I'm not in your position. I don't need to multiply my money like that. I need slow and consistent gains to be retired within 5 years. And I'm well on my path to doing that. So we have different goals. I understand you want to speculate in the Ponzi. That's totally fine. But again, fraud is exposed in economic downturns. Yeah. I'm open-minded. Uh, but unlike MoonBoys, they will just spam have fun staying poor and study even though I understand it better than them. And again, if Bitcoin goes low enough, the miners will stop mining. What happens if the miners stop mining? Well, they will not mine if it's unprofitable, right? And why would that be? Why would they stop mining? Besides the fact that it's unprofitable. And what impact would it have? Well, the impact it would have is that it would freeze the network, which means that it doesn't matter if you think Bitcoin is valuable, you will no longer be able to transact. If the network freezes, it's the same as it being worthless. And again, there's a big difference between worthless and useless, okay? Right now, it's worth a lot. It's worth a lot. Just like Dogecoin, it's worth a lot. And if you take matter so much, why is Dogecoin, $75 billion market cap? Like, look at this, 70 billion. If I'm also the higher, yeah, 70 billion. At the peak, it was 100 billion. Like the tech doesn't matter, man. So many other ones that can do the same shit, and it doesn't matter what you or I think as well. It's what Wall Street thinks, and they think it's a risky asset clearly because it's correlated to Nasdaq, not gold. It's inversely correlated to gold. Let's go back to the Ponzi scheme definition now. It relies on word of mouth. Wait, actually, no. A Ponzi scheme is a high rate of return with little risk to the investor. Yeah, this is what they say, right? They say every 4 years you hold on, you're guaranteed gonna make money. This is what literally every single person thinks, right? In the Bitcoin religion. It relies on word of mouth, as new investors hear about the big returns earned by early investors. Damn, that sounds exactly like Bitcoin. Inevitably, the scheme collapses when the flow of new money slows, making it impossible to keep the payments of alleged profits. That's not the case for stocks. If you buy the top, you will get bailed out with future earnings. Same thing with commodities. They're going to be used for something, so there will be buying automatically for that thing, right? But that's not the case with Bitcoin. And if it disappears tomorrow, no one is going to care besides the hodlers. There's a great video if you want to watch it from what was it called? Here, this video. Mm, you should definitely watch this. Is MicroStrategy a pyramid scheme by Mark Meldrum? And this is one of the main reasons why Bitcoin is going up. MicroStrategy, again, he's doing the same thing Michael Saylor now. You might say like, oh my god, look at those returns. Look, it just went up 4,000%. It went up 4,000% here. Then it went down 99% because 99.9% even. Because he was using leverage. Same thing here. And what people don't get is there's no difference between, again, like I pointed out in my previous video, doesn't matter if I open the chart of Radio Corp of America. Let me do that real quick. Doesn't matter if the year is 1929, 2000, or 2024. If people borrow money to buy risk assets, the same outcome will always be present when things turn. It will always be a deleveraging event. That will never change. It doesn't matter what year it is. You borrowed money to buy something. If something goes wrong, you have to pay it back. And what happens? Boom, it collapses. Here was again, like I pointed out in my previous video, inflation adjusted home prices 50% down. What happens to Bitcoin in these scenarios? I think it goes down 90 to 99%, or maybe the network freezes, right? All right. That's all I want to go over. Take care.